Welcome to Worth Following Weekly, 5 minutes of mentoring on the skills all leaders need to improve the culture of your workplace, building relational reliance within your teams. I'm your host, lead consultant for Roots to Sky Consulting, Mark Legvold. Last episode, we discussed the power of follow up that a leader can tap in to build their reputation as someone who can be relied upon. Getting up and getting to the workplace to listen and help make your relational level leaders solve problems, it can build trust and help make your workload as a leader a little more manageable. And by making those workplace visits focused for each person, it builds your reputation as someone who follows up with their people. That builds trust. Actively seeking a positive reason to touch base with the people you lead is a subtle but powerful skill of leaders who are worth following. Today's episode is not only building trust, but it's also about building safety. Not the bright yellow vest, hard hat, steel toe, glove wearing type, but the type of safety that leaders need to build to become worth following: psychological and emotional safety in the workplace. For those of you who paid close attention to the Difficult Conversation series, you learned that the way you conduct the difficult matters of leadership can actually build relationships that are positive and more productive in the workplace, even when it's hard. First, let's quickly cover the difference between following up and following through. Following up is just the simple act of keeping on top of the issues that are ongoing. When the leader makes the purposeful act of touching base as a project or issue is ongoing, making sure that everyone has all they need or equipped, capable, and courageous enough to make the necessary decisions to move the project or issue along. When those you lead are actually equipped, capable, and courageous because of your follow up, you've built the relational reliance that builds trust. Following through is different and more powerful. Where following up implies that you're working on something that's ongoing, following through is seeing it through to completion. But I'm not talking about task completion. While that's important, I'm talking about the psychological and emotional completion of an event, especially when that event or occurrence was difficult. I recall mentoring a young man who was struggling with their leadership. He worked hard and was trying to serve his folks well. One day, he came to me for some advice about a particularly difficult employee who he had just completed a tough performance review for. He relayed that during the performance review, all the emotions that he was worried about came out: anger, sadness, worry, and blame. Now, every day there's a dark cloud around every interaction we have, he said to me. Most, if not all of those tough emotions were coming from a need for safety in the work relationship. And leaders who are worth following can recognize them for what they are. Don't blame the other person. And this is key: do the hard work of leadership and build the relationship from where the other person is. Leadership, actual, purposeful leadership, is hard. So, as a leader who's worth following, do the hard things well. Seek out the difficult follow up on the emotions and actions that your people need to work on, and be part of the solutions. Recognize the feelings of your people and actually talk to them about what they're feeling. Validate the emotions, make them okay, and tell them how important it is to have them in the workplace. Nobody leaves their emotions in the parking lot, just like nobody leaves their emotions at the workplace. We all have them. If you, as the leader, are able to work with your people where they are to a place where they feel honored and respected as a whole person in the end, then that's following through. Don't accept poor behavior, but understand where it comes from so you can make the correction based on their beliefs. This isn't limited to the hard work of leadership, though. The positive emotions surrounding a triumph in the workplace are also important to follow through on. Celebrations or recognition of what's going right allow for a higher degree of psychological safety when the tough stuff comes. But following through on the good stuff also provides a benchmark for movement forward. And it allows the people to see their next mountaintop from the one they just climbed and have the courage to move on with the knowledge that their leader is with them for the journey. Worth Following Weekly is a part of the professional development offered by Roots to Sky Consulting. If you'd like to learn more about the ways we can help your organization build a healthy environment where the seeds of potential can be planted and grow into leaders worth following at all levels, learn more at rootstoskyconsulting.com. Until then, we'll see you next time on Worth Following Weekly.